Hi everyone, I am finally doing another sketchbook tour. It's been a little while, but this one will be a little bit different from my other ones because I decided to break the sketchbook down into two videos, mostly because this sketchbook is just a lot bigger than my previous ones, and so it's taking me longer to finish it. So I just marked where the middle of it is. I reached that the other day, and yeah, this is just gonna be part one of the sketchbook, and once I finish the rest I will do a part two, of course, and then a flip through of the whole sketchbook. Yeah, but yeah, as you can see, the sketchbook is big. Here's the little tag cover thingy that it came with. It's from Art Creation, and here's the exact information. This is my most expensive sketchbook so far as well, and I have been enjoying it so far. The paper is pretty thick, but alcohol markers still bleed through it, but I'm not using them that much here. The stickers, I have gotten a couple questions here and there about how I spice up my covers, but to be honest, I just kind of randomly put stuff on it. Like when I buy new sticker sheets or something like that, I just put a couple on the cover. That's it. The sketchbook also has an elastic and a little bookmark, which is awesome. So yeah, let's just open it. Okay, there's some extra stuff that I'm gonna use at some point. Okay, so first page I usually draw myself and maybe write down some things I need to work on, and when I do part two I'll go back here and check how much stuff I worked on. Now this is okay, the first pages are usually really bad in my sketchbooks. This is also kind of a bad page. It's just a bunch of sketches and swatches. Oh yeah, I got these outline markers. They're metallic in the middle, but the outline is colorful. I'll put a picture. I don't have them on hand right now, but yeah, just some sketches of my OCs. This is an old sketch I found. Another OC. This is a commission sketch that I just really like. Another kind of bad page. I'm just getting used to the new paper, new format, obviously. This is my OC cat. I liked this sketch, but I don't like the marker I used for her skin. It's just ruined it a little bit. Yeah, the first pages are always really bad in my sketchbooks because I'm just getting used to the new sketchbook. I still really like this page. It's Vanessa from the FNAF movie, and this is where my love for big portraits started, because I do this a lot, just big face on the page. I like that. And I really like this. I used pearl puffy paint for the halo. Yeah, up close in person it's a little messy, but it's fine. And I also used some of it on her tears, so they're supposed to be shiny. Yeah, you can kind of see that. This is Blue Eye Samurai Mizu. This legitimately took me 2 days to color because for some godforsaken reason I decided to use felt pens, of all things, to color this. I'm just really smart, I guess. Yeah, it took forever to color this, and it looks pretty messy because you can see all of the strokes and everything. Maybe I'll redo this, and I don't even really like most of these. I like these two, and that's about it. Okay, these are two characters. I do not know their names. They're from the Trolls movie. I don't know which one. I just saw a picture of them on Pinterest, thought they looked cool, and kind of drew them in my style, I guess. I like this one. It's really cute. Okay, so here I was looking through my old drawings because I had a stack of old drawings and was sorting through them. So I found a bunch of my old FNAF security breach drawings. Roxy, Monty, my design for Glamrock Bonnie before there was a canon one, and the Music Man, yeah. And here I just like tried redrawing them, I guess. Looks a lot better. Yeah. And Roxy and Chica. Here I found some old Fluttershy drawings and I colored them and glued them in here, and I was gonna do like a whole page, but I did not. But it's okay. This is when I watched Hilda Hurricane or Hilda Furacao. I believe that's how you say that. It's like an old Brazilian show, I'm pretty sure, and it was all over my For You page at some point. The main two actors are very beautiful, and I watched the show. I skipped a lot of it because there's multiple plot lines, and most of them I did not care about. I only cared about these two. But it was fun, and they're really pretty, and I love the edits, so I tried drawing them multiple times in this, but it's really hard. Yeah, and this doesn't really look like them. But, here is me trying to draw the main actress from Hilda Hurricane, but it's so hard. I don't know, I just really struggle still. This one is okay. It kind of looks like her. Everything else, it's not ugly, but it just doesn't look like her, and it annoys me. This is Carrie, the original movie. I think that's the original movie. Yeah, just randomly felt like drawing her. I don't know. This is actually a redraw from one of my previous sketchbooks. It's Ada Wong from the Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm still so obsessed with her design in that remake. But yeah, I just drew a bunch of sketches of her, filled the background with red. The background is actually kind of messy because I used 2 different tubes of red acrylic paint, and then I had to buy like cheap gouache paint and like cover this up. Oh, because I was gonna do a completely different drawing here, and I like did the line art and everything. You can kind of see like leftovers here. See, I told you. I do this a lot. I do these big portraits a lot in here. This is Shelley Duvall and Sissy Spacek, I think. I'm pretty sure I've drawn this picture in one of my other sketchbooks. I just like it so much. And I used felt pens on this. I did a very loose sketch with a pencil, then went over it with felt pens. Here I just drew some skeletons, I don't know, and this, I got these sticky notes that are shaped like meat, and they're really cool. Okay, and this, oh, I'm so excited about this. So, card from Ardex. This is when I got into acrylic markers. Ardex sent me their markers for free. As a collaboration, and I made a video about it, so you can watch it, and I show the process of this. And I have genuinely been using these markers pretty much non-stop since then. They're really cool, and it was my first time using something like this. Yeah, it was just really awesome, really cool of them, and I still can't believe that I had this opportunity. Yeah. This isn't the first drawing I did with these markers. It's like third or second. The first drawing is later in the sketchbook. But yeah, just did this sketch of this like random character. It looks like Sonata from the Dazzlings, but it's whatever. I think I did really well on the coloring, especially considering that this is my second or third attempt ever at acrylic markers. More marker stuff. This is what? I think Derek or something from The Beekeeper. And this is my ticket for The Beekeeper. Did I watch it just because Josh Hutcherson is in it? Perhaps, but did I like it? Yeah. I went to see it with my friend, and there were like 15 people in the theater, including us, which was actually really cool. It was really chill. I liked it. And I like this drawing. I usually really struggle with drawing Josh Hutcherson, but this turned out pretty nice, and I like how they did his hair, because he has like bleached ends in that movie. I like how that turned out. And I used the golden marker from the Ardex set. You can't really tell. And here I drew the Countess from American Horror Story Hotel. I just wanted to use these sticky notes. Mostly. Yeah, I like the blood and stuff. I messed up here, but... And it's also really wrinkly because of the glue, which I don't like, but... What can you do? Ooh, okay, I have a video on this page, and I really like it. I used actual lace on here, and there's a bow. It's really flat right now, but it's a bow. The only thing is, I even said it in the video, the cake is pretty lazy. I didn't try super hard on the cake, and only after I finished the video and the page, I realized that I made her skin tone too light. This is my OC cat, and she's supposed to have darker skin. I did not do her justice in that regard. And this is a redraw of a page from, I think, 2 of my previous sketchbooks. I don't remember. I think this is the second time I redrew this. It's Scream 1996. Sydney. Here you can open these windows. There's Stu and Billy. Billy turned out a little bit weird, I think. But Stu I actually really like, and Sydney I also really like. I couldn't find the same reference I used on the older pages, but it's fine. And I like how I colored her, and I just like this like limited color scheme, black, white, and red. It's really cool. And of course I used my acrylic markers on this. Again, trying to draw Hilda. This one looks nice, this one is okay, this one doesn't really look like her. And this is Malthus? I don't remember how you exactly pronounce it. And Hilda again. Here's just some like random sketches I drew myself because I thrifted this dress. Tried to color Cat with the markers. And this is like my other character Tasha, but with the markers, and my little persona, I guess. I don't know. This, I watched The Breakfast Club, but I do not remember this character's name. She's my favorite, but I do not remember her name, and I do not remember anyone's name besides Claire. But yeah, I like these 2 sketches. This one just turned out really like kind of stylized, and this one is actually like accurate because these other 2 are meh. Here I'm playing around with the acrylic markers again. I basically found a reference, drew the silhouette with one color, and then went over it with the other colors, like doing all the clothes and shading and stuff. And these 2 look like alien girlfriends to me, which I love. Okay, this is Claire from the this is Claire from the Breakfast Club. Here I like try to redeem this cake. I was gonna draw it like really realistically, but like at some point I decided actually I'm just gonna make it really stylized, and I really like this. And this is actually the first drawing I did with these markers. It's Daisy from Girl Interrupted. I don't exactly remember, but yeah. I really liked this when I just finished it, but looking at it now, I'm like, yeah, I can tell that this is the first attempt. Maybe I'll redraw this at some point, I don't know. Ooh, this is another redraw. There's actually a lot of redraws in the sketchbook so far. But this is from my first sketchbook I showed on this channel. It's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And on the original page, it's like a whole collage. There's a lot of cutouts and stuff, but here I tried to draw as much of it on the page as I could. The only like elements that I didn't draw are the smiley faces and these two stars. Everything else I sketched out and colored on the page, which for me is an achievement. And here are my OCs, Oliver and Tasha, just like laying in bed. I think I used a TikTok as a reference. They're like taking a selfie, and this is the picture they took, I guess. The coloring on here is really messy. I didn't really try too hard, but I really like how their legs are like intertwined. Oh, that's my man. That's my man Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 1. I really like his design in that game. He just looks so good. And this is the best drawing that I've ever done of him, because for some reason it is so hard for me to draw him. Even with his mask on, like, you would think when like half of the face is covered, it's gonna be so much easier to draw the character, but not for me, not with him. And I used some silver in some area, so it's shiny. Yeah. And these are just some shoes, studies, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know what to do here, so I just tried doing flowers, but they look bad. Here is Hobie Brown from Across the Spider-Verse, and I really like this. I used like official art of him as a reference for the coloring, and I just love it. I think it turned out so good. I like the shading and stuff, and the I don't know. I'm really proud of this. This took a while to do, and I think it turned out really good, but I didn't know what to do on the rest of the page, so I just put all of the Spider-Man stickers I had. Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. And again, I used silver on some areas. Yeah. Okay, very randomly I decided to draw like my pony Sona, I guess, just myself as a pony. And I added some bows here for some spice. Yeah, I don't usually draw ponies, but this turned out pretty good. I love this one. It's Ellie from The Last of Us 2. And I just love how the coloring turned out, and all of the colors just worked really well together. And what I think really helped is not using black. Like, if you look closely, all the line art is done with this like reddish brown, dark reddish brown, and it's just so nice. I don't know, just all the colors worked out really well. And I put these like nail stickers all around it. It's kitty cats. Yeah, I really like this. Actually, when Artext, here I was like testing out the pens that Artext. What I keep saying, Artex sent me. They sent me 2 acrylic marker sets and a set of pens. So I was kind of testing them out here. Some sketches of my OCs. Can you focus, please? Yeah. So Tyler, Kat, Tasha, Oliver and Nicole. And this, I found a picture on Pinterest and just referenced that. yeah. More Hilda Hurricane, I just really like this scene. And so I tried drawing it, but it was so hard. Again, I really struggle with drawing the main character of that show. And here it really shows. Like what is that? Anyway. Here, I found another reference on Pinterest, but this actually spins. And this idea is from this person. I have credited them multiple times so far, but I still cannot remember their username. But yeah, this person came up with this, and they have a tutorial on their TikTok. I don't want to take away from them, so if you want to do something like this, check them out. But this was my first try with this, and it shows it's not perfect, because, I don't know, just the placement is a little weird, and the star is not like regular shape. Like there's some shorter spikes, some are longer, and it was just hard to line everything up. Yeah. Okay, and this is my second attempt at the spinning star, and this one is much better because the star shape is a lot more like regular or consistent. I don't know, I just drew a circle and I tried to make all the spikes about the same size, so it's easier to line up the star in the drawing. And yeah. Oh yeah, and this is Pearl, and I really like this sketch. Okay, this is Mike from the FNAF movie, and again I drew George Hutcherson and it turned out nice, and it looks like him, which is really awesome. I noticed that it's easier for me to draw him when he has facial hair. I don't know what that's about. And this is a tag from one of my FNAF plushies. Fake FNAF plushies. Okay, this is just Susan Woodings from the Walton Files. Yeah, I really like the 4th episode. If you haven't seen the Walton Files, you should check it out. It's pretty cool, and there's new episodes coming out soon. And just some doodles of Benny. Yeah. Here I tried to draw in my redesign of Laguna Blue from Monster High. But I also kind of changed it because I've seen people give her like a Gyaru kind of style, and I really like it, so I just took my old redesign but added some Gyaru stuff to it. I don't know. I also wanted to use these stickers I got, but they're peeling. Like, look at this. Look at the seahorse. What is that? And I also figured out how to like draw false lashes in my style, just these little thingies. I really want to use that. This is Alice and Jasper from Twilight. I really like this, and he turned out really bad. It was my friend's idea to like draw Jasper here, because I first drew Alice and this was empty, and my friend told me to draw Jasper here. I tried. I really did. I really did try, but meh. This is really cool though. I really like this. Okay, and this is Wendy from The Shining. I like the sketch better. Like, this doesn't look bad, but the sketch looked better. I don't know if I have the picture still, but the sketch looked better. Okay, and here I drew how my OCs sleep. Yeah, just a silly little thing. This is me. This is definitely how I sleep. Oh, this is Jack and Rosemary from the Walton Files, like dancing maybe. I don't know, just found this pose on Pinterest and really wanted to draw them in it. This is a person I saw on TikTok. Here's their username. I cannot fit the sketchbook in frame here. Yeah, just saw this person on TikTok and decided to reference them. It doesn't really look like them, but it was It's fine. More Ellie, because I guess I just like suffering. I used the same colors and coloring techniques that I used on the other Ellie drawing, and I really like this. This is like her older and younger version, and some Mitski lyrics, because again, I guess I love to suffer. I really like this one. Here, looking at this one now, it looks a little bit weird to me. I don't know what it is exactly, but this I really like. Some sketches of my OC Nicole. I just wanted to try kind of experimenting with her hair a little bit, because I always draw it the same way, and I really like this. And some expressions, I guess. Here are some drawings of Mike, or like the vampire kid, and one of the goth kids from South Park. I drew these for a TikTok because I'm trying to get back into making TikToks because I stopped for a while. I really like these. I don't know, I just really missed drawing these characters. Some more pages that I have videos about. These are a bunch of redraws from my really old sketchbooks. So I'm not gonna talk about them too much because I talk about them a lot in the video and you should watch that video. Yeah, but I will say I really like these. Okay, these are some Zuko sketches from the new Avatar, The Last Airbender live action. My review, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I was invested. I tried to avoid any like online discourse before I watched it, and I tried watching it as its own thing instead of just constantly comparing it to the original. Zuko was definitely my favorite part of the whole thing. I think Dallas did such an amazing job. He looks like Zuko, he sounds like Zuko, he acts like Zuko, he did his own stunts, which is so impressive. And I do not understand the hate that he was getting at some point. Like, oh, he was behaving weird, like, oh, the acting was weird, the actor of Jet should have played him. Shut. If you take the actor of Jet and give him this cut, he would look goofy as well. And he was acting weird. That is season 1 Zuko, because I feel like a lot of people only see the season 3 Zuko, but he has to be a doofus before he becomes season 3 Zuko. I also like the changes they made to his backstory. It's not really like changes, it's more like they expanded on his backstory. Whatever, it's a sketchbook tour. It's a sketchbook tour, not a review of the show. Here, another redraw from that same video. It's Sundrop from FNAF Security Breach, and it's a puppet. And I again made a video, and I show and explain how I did this, so if you want to do something like this, you can watch that, and you should totally watch that video, because it took a while to make. Just saying. Okay, this is Lee May from Mortal Kombat 1, but this specific skin, because I really like it. And I actually really like Lee May in that game. I don't know, something about her just really speaks to me. Okay, and this was a mess. This was originally gonna be the CA Cupid from Monster High, like, page thing. But she turned out so bad, I had to cover it up completely and just change the whole idea. So here, this is a cutout to a window, and I used double-sided tape, but I stuck this lace around it and put this little bow here, and I actually really like this. And I tried coloring the page in like this. I forgot what this pattern is called. I'll just put it on screen. But yeah, it's messy, but it's fine. This side is just golden, cause that's what the idea originally was gonna be. But meh. And then I just found like a reference on Pinterest and drew this. Yeah, I don't think it looks bad, but it just was a mess. Some more drawings that I made for a TikTok. This is Twilight and Discord from My Little Pony, obviously my designs. And here I tried drawing Scorpion from Mortal Kombat 1. He turned out more stylized than I was going for. But it's okay. And I really like his design in that game as well. I like a lot of the character designs in that game. Pearl, yeah. Here I drew Cat again, and I really like this. And I filled the background with stickers and nail charms and papers and stuff that I had. And I really like this. I think this turned out really good. And like her face just looks so nice here. Okay, this, I thrifted some CDs. You can see reflections. Yeah, you can. Yeah, this is Tasha, and I just used a bunch of decorations that fit her personality. Yeah. Another Pinterest person. Yeah, and I accidentally matched the colors, which is kind of cool. Okay, more Avatar The Last Airbender live action sketches. And I really like these. I love this one. Azula, Jet, Suki. Bruh. Is it from here? It is from here. Damn. Okay. Anyway. Aang and Katara, but this turned out kinda... Andrew Azula here. Yeah. I feel so bad for the actresses that are playing Azula and May, I think. They're getting so much hate and like getting fat shamed so much, and it's I hate that. I hate it so bad. I think first of all, it's really like early to judge them because they've barely been in the show yet. They only had like a couple scenes, especially May. Like she had like one line, and Azula's actress, I think she did really good in this particular scene. I really liked it. I think she looked really evil and scary. I don't know, it's just really annoying to me. Like, you're just judging how attractive these teenagers are. Like, it's weird. It's weird. Stop being weird. Some more, like, just sketches or loose drawings I had. I just glued in here. So May from the Avatar live action. Hilda Hurricane, Wendy from South Park, Twilight, and the little doodle of myself. Okay, and these are some bluey drawings that I did for a TikTok, and I just glued them in here, but I glued them so high. So this is Frisky, Red, Bluey, and them and Bingo sitting down. It's one of the scenes from the show. Okay, here I drew Karen from the Mean Girls musical. Yeah, I watched it and I have not seen the original yet, I will say, so I can't really like fully compare. It was fine. You know, the musical was right. It was okay. But I really liked Karen and Regina. The background was kind of a mess because I didn't want to make another like lazy page just gluing sketches down, so I tried coloring it with glitter pens. Again, I guess I hate myself and I just love coloring full pages with small tiny materials. And I put a bunch of stickers and papers here. It's fine. It's okay. Tried drawing Leanne Cartman from South Park because I haven't drawn her in a while, but I messed her up a little bit. Like, the sketch looked better. I messed up her hair and her hands. Just, I don't know, the sketch looked better. And here I was like looking at art on Pinterest and just picking up some things that could fit at my style, you know, like how people draw eyes, how people draw mouths. and stuff. I do that sometimes to like spice up my style or something, or expand my style, you know what I mean? And here I did a little Oliver sketch, but it doesn't look like him because his eyes are too far apart, and I just cannot draw my characters properly. And speaking of that, here's some of my characters. So Tasha and Kat, Oliver and Nicole. I like this one. I just like these like little interactions and stuff. And Nicole. And here I tried coloring like how I color digitally. Like I don't do line art in digital, and it's okay. It's okay. And actually the other day I tried doing the other way around. I tried doing line art in digital, which I don't usually do, and actually I did that with Kat as well. So here's that drawing. The digital drawing looks fine, but I just hated the process. And here the process was okay, but I just don't like the look of it. Like you can see all of the strokes and stuff. And I was gonna layer it to like smooth them out, but it would be too dark for Kat at that point, so... And there's limited colors in the marker set, so I couldn't do exactly how I colored digitally. Whatever. Okay, so some teeth. For this I actually referenced my own teeth, but I did like way bigger gaps in the front teeth than I have. I watched Lisa Frankenstein and I really liked it, so I drew the characters. I like how she turned out. It doesn't maybe really look like the picture I used, but it's just really stylized and simplified, and I like it. He's just there. And I also like tried doing this thing where I fill the black areas, but I leave some like gaps in here and here as well, you can see. I just think it adds some texture, I guess. I tried drawing Lisa. I found it so hard for me to draw her. I don't know why, but yeah, it's alright. And here I drew Regina from the Mean Girls musical. Renee Rapp, mother, I love her. This page is okay. I like how I did her like necklace with puffy paint, and these are pearl stickers and more puffy paint. I think that looks really cool, and it's all three-dimensional. That's really cool. Yeah. I was actually gonna do... I actually did like a few more sketches that I was gonna put like somewhere in here, but they don't fit anywhere. So I'm just gonna put them away and do something with them later. And here I drew one of my dolls. It's Kim Nguyen from Rainbow High. I'll put a picture of her right here because I made this outfit for her and she looks so pretty and I love her. Her face turned out a little weird. Something about it doesn't look right to me, but... And maybe I'll add more stuff to this page because, I don't know, it looks a little bit empty to me. And here we reached the middle of the sketchbook, but I'll show a little glimpse of what I've done so far. So obviously a couple more extra sketches that I'll use later. Some sketches of Tyler, like how they age, I guess. And yesterday I did this Rainbow Dash page. It's not finished yet, I'm gonna add some more stuff to it, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. That's the first half of the sketchbook done. I'm pretty happy with how the sketchbook is going so far, and it's a lot of fun for me to do. So yeah, hopefully it won't take me too long to fill the rest, because it's been a little while since the last tour, and usually by this point I would finish a sketchbook. But it's whatever, it's fine to take longer with the sketchbook, whatever. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed this. Expect a part 2 at some point. subscribe, like the video, comment, all of that. You can also check out my other socials, they will be on the screen and description. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!